So the first step that he did, and the first step we just did, is we kind of put on paper, what is it that I value the most? And I mean, we could do a whole bunch of different exercises, but those two things give us a real nice clue. The I-beam, what would I cross it for? That must be something that I value highly, like Rachel's kids. What would I want people to say about me at my own funeral? That tells me, well, I would like them to say, you know, I was this and I was that. We can also just ask ourselves the question, what's most important to me? And that's where Ben Franklin started, is he asked, what's most important to me? Not what's important, what do other people think is most important to me? What do I think is important to me? So that's the first step of 3 steps to getting where we're headed, is just making kind of a list. What is it that's, what lives for me versus what doesn't so much? So that's the first step in 3 steps. The second step is kind of fun. What I'd like you to do is taking what is on your list. So actually, and then I want you to have a new page over here, so it looks like this. So you can either, if you've already got this page full, then use a different page. So this is page 1 or page 2. But what I want you to do is, you've got your list of things that you've just put down. From our funeral. What? From our funeral. Right, from your funeral and the I-beam. You've got that list. Now, what I want you to do on the second list is I want you to look over all of those and ask yourself, of these, which one's the most? Which one is the highest? Which one would I give the highest value to? Which one is my highest priority of these that are on the list? So I want you to do that for a second. I want you to, and I know it's like, well, sometimes it's this and sometimes it's this, but in general, just kind of make a, here's the things that, here's my, what I would say, the most valuable, the next most, and the next most, and the next most, and just bring them down in an order of their relative value to the others. Yet the things that you came up with after doing those 2 scenarios, which one of those is, like, of all the things, the most valuable? And then the second most, and then the third most. And some of the things that you have on your list, you may be doing nothing about right now. That's okay. I remember when I was doing this, I realized that learning was really high on my list. It was something that I value enormously, the concept of learning. But I realized at that time, I wasn't doing too much about it. I was just busy working and playing and working and playing and doing the family. I wasn't doing anything, but it was still really high on my list. So don't worry that you may not be gung-ho in doing something about it, but it still is a high priority for you. Back then, I was married, but we had no kids, so my priorities of a family were different than they are now, where, and there's nothing superior about this now for me, my kids and my wife, our family is really, really high on the list. It wasn't before. And that's okay. That's just fine. Just get your list cranking.